Good morning. Ohayo gozaimasu. How are you today? And happy Easter. And also today we have a Buddha Day service, so happy Buddha Day. Thank you very much for joining in our morning service. So I misplaced this teaching of Honeshoni. I was trying to read it and then I wonder where I put it. So anyway, this book was translated by our Bishop of Jodo, North America, Dr. Bishop Georgia Tone, and then also Mrs. Yoko Horiuchi. She did a translation. And Mrs. Horiuchi, her father was our Korowa Jodo Mission resident minister, Reverend Myoshun Hayashi. He had been in Korowa for 25 years. Wow, long time before World War II, until he retired 1964. So he has been here for 25 years. And I know Mrs. Horiuchi for, since I think from 97, so almost 24 years I know. And then when I was assigned to here, Korowa, I know Mrs. Horiuchi father was Reverend Hayashi. So I sent a letter, and then she already moved to Los Angeles, but she immediately gave me congratulations. And then also after that, I made a brochure about this temple, and that was, I actually wrote in Japanese, and then I sent it to her that I, introduced this temple in Japanese. And to my surprise, I think in a week or maybe in a few days, she sent me English translation of this temple's brochure. Wow, I was truly amazed, that she did translation from Japanese to English. And then in the brochure, I included a poem called Tanka, a short poem, written by the chief abbot Shinko Kishi when he visited this temple in 1959 in commemoration of the 750th grand anniversary of Honen Shonin. He actually visited all Jodo temples in Hawaii, and I think over 1 month he stayed, from temple to temple. So he, the chief abbot of Jodo-shu, the Chion head temple, visited all the temples and then stayed, and then gave teachings to the local members. And at that time, he left wonderful short poems called Tanka. And one of the, while he was staying on Hawaii, he left short poems. And then actually I included the poem. And then after receiving, Mrs. Horiuchi Sensei translation, the English translation of the poem was already there. Wow. And then, that. So I'm praying, sometimes praying, good health. So anyway, this is my. I wanted to explain this book because, and then also I want to thank Dr. Bishop Atone, his generosity that he gave us many books. So if you don't have this book, I can share this book. Please let me know. Anyway, today Easter, so I was thinking, Easter, the spelling is East and then ER. So maybe, something related to the East, and then East is a direction where sun rises. And I was thinking, Easter kind of interesting that because our direction to the West, but Christianity faces to the East, and where the sun rises, where the life comes up. And then we pray for the West, and that's kind of different. But Easter is not related to the direction East that I ran. And that also is interesting that there is a word orientation, right? Orientation. So orient means eastern, east direction where the sun rises. And so the reason why orientation is used is because when the church is built, when the church is built, they face to the east. So they try to build that church facing to the east. So that's why, to make the direction east is called orientation. And now orientation is used, even in Japan we use orientation, like orientation we use, as a Japanese word, so familiar because when you go to school, new school, when you start a job, we have orientation, that orientation. And orientation we use, Japanese use as like a guidance or guideline. But original meaning of orientation is that church is built facing to the east, so direction. So that is the word of the orientation. So I was thinking, Easter maybe, related to the east, but that actually not correct. So please check the meaning. I actually, there are few opinions. So the one I look was Easter is origin is a German word, German word, that Eostere. Eostere is a goddess of symbol of revival of the new life. Eostere. So that is when the Gregorius the First, the 6th century Roman Pope, he tried to modify Christianity with European culture and European based background. And so it is said that the one I wrote, the one I saw was the Gregorius the First in the 6th century tried to modify the Christianity with European ancient belief or religion. That is Eostere, is a goddess of revival. So that is I actually read, but I think this is not major opinion. Anyway, today I'd like to read Teachings of Honen Shonin. Today is day 4. Is page 67. Pure Land teaching alone prevails. The second fascicle of the larger sutra states, the sentient beings living even after the extinction of the 3 treasures, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, will attain birth in the Pure Land by only a single utterance of Nembutsu. Master Shantao interpreted this to mean, even after the period of the decline of the Dharma that lasts 10,000 years, when the three treasures become extinct, only the larger sutra will endure another 100 years. When listening to the teachings of the larger sutra, the people of that time will utter Nembutsu once and realize Ojo without fail. It should be known through these two passages that the grace of the essential vow of Buddha Amitabha will continue to save the masses extensively and extend over an infinite length of time. The evil will be saved, and the virtuous, embraced by Buddha Amitabha, the bad will be saved, and the good embraced. Those who live afar will be saved, and those who live near embraced. Those who live long after Buddha Shakyamuni's entrance into Nibbana will be saved, and those who live shortly after embrace. The profundity and extensiveness of the great compassion, the great compassionate essential vow are beyond verbal description. Believe in them in the depths of your heart and validate their truth within yourself. It is now indeed the period of the decline of the Dharma. However, 100 years have not elapsed. Our evil karma may be grave, yet we have not committed the 5 grave offenses. Buddha Amitabha will save the masses 100 years after the period of the extinction of the Dharma. How much more benevolence will there be for us living today? Buddha Amitabha does not abandon the most vile of men who have committed the 5 grave offenses. He most certainly will not abandon us. Hence, you, with a threefold devotional heart, should recite the name of Buddha Amitabha exclusively. So today is called in Japanese Sanji. Sanji is a 3 time, and this is a understanding of time according to the Buddhist idea, Buddhist understanding, and it's I feel very interesting because even Dharma is a universal truth. However, as time passes, the Dharma, the universal truth, no matter how excellent teaching, but as time passes by, it was not transmitted correctly. And at the same time, it was forgotten. It was not practiced as time passes by. This is a basic understanding of time that according to Buddhism. And it is so true, even our excellent, no matter how, it sounds like, perfect teaching. However, as time passes by, it was not practiced. And eventually, it was not, it was forgotten. And it was gone. That is the understanding of the time. And so, according to Buddhism, the first period, that is Buddha's teaching, practice, and then so it's called Shobo, is a right time, right period of Dharma, right period of time. That is, the teaching is perfectly transmitted. There will be somebody who is enlightened and somebody who can practice. And then next, so the first period lasts like 500 years, and another opinion 1,000 years. So it depends on, we have two opinions, 500 years or 1,000 years. That is called right time. That's called Shobo. And the next period is called Zoho, is 1,000 years, last 1,000 years. And then after 1,000 years, so at the most 2,000 years after Shakyamuni Buddha passed away, or or 1,500 years after Shakyamuni Buddha passed away, then we enter the decline of Dharma, the decline of Dharma. So the decline of Dharma is that only teaching remain, only teaching remain. And that it enters, Japanese believe that 1052, it's a Heian period, the Mappo was entered. So it's kind of nowadays in our modern age hard to imagine what was like Mappo to enter the decline of the Dharma. But at the time of end of Heian period, the Mappo was truly scared for the people, and then it lasts 10,000 years. It lasts 10,000 years when you enter the decline of the Dharma. And 10,000 years look like, such a long time. And then during that time, the only teaching remained. And it was, hard to imagine how bad that life at the time. But when people living there in the late Heian period, it was, always confusion, chaos, natural disasters, wars are happening all around themselves. So the real life was understood as Mappo. So that one we have to think about the situations of that age. It's kind of hard to imagine Mappo. How was Mappo like during the late Heian period? So that was happened. So people were naturally seek for salvation, seek for the teaching that people are saved. So this is the age, of that age. And then Honen Shonin appeared and he started the teaching of Nembutsu. So this one. But even though Mappo started, and even Dharma, the right teaching is gone, you can still be saved. And how you can be saved is just utterance. One time Nembutsu to recite Namu Amida Butsu, you can be saved. And I think what a relief, what a strong encouragement and, relief, assurance that the people receive from Honen Shonin. Just one time Nembutsu, even the Dharma is gone, is also, it's hard to imagine how people were so relieved after hearing of Honen Shonin's teaching. And that was the age, and because of the age, people were truly suffering. And at the same time, people were truly seeking for the teaching. And Honen Shonin provided the right teaching, for the people, for the right people. So that is happened during the late Heian period. And although, so many years passed, and we actually, as compared to Heian period, we are much happy period, peaceful period, right? But if we are mindful of the situation happening around us, and then if we are mindful of our life, we have to experience suffering as we get closer to the death. So, no, the different time, but the truth is same, that we have four major sufferings. Four major sufferings. That is never change. So, no matter how good life, peaceful life we are able to live, but the great suffering of death is coming to us, without exception, 100%. So, if we realize that situation, that is actually still true, that Honen age and our age are true. And the Nembutsu teaching is such a relief, still relief, So that is, I think, grateful. So we are not, always mindful that we are mortal being and we are coming closer to the death. But if we are mindful, it could happen anytime. It could happen anytime. And that sense, that it could happen anytime is, I think, very important. So our second founder, Nenshi Nembutsu, to be mindful of death, is, and then to be mindful of Nembutsu. So Nenshi Nembutsu, that he actually stressed to be always mindful of death. And that make us live, make us feel this life so grateful that we are now living here today. Namanda. I aspire for my body to be as pure as an incense burner. I aspire for my mind to be like the light of wisdom. With every thought, I burn this incense of discipline and meditation. To dedicate myself to the past, present, and the future Buddhas of the 10 directions. the Buddhas who eternally dwell in the lands of the 10 directions. I wholeheartedly take refuge in the Dharma, the teachings which eternally exist in the lands of the 10 directions. I wholeheartedly take refuge in the Sangha, the community which eternally exists in the lands of the 10 directions. 無常みだせ尊入の上無常釈迦如来入道上無常実法如来入道 We reverently call upon Amida Buddha, the world-honored one, to enter this sacred place. We reverently call upon Shakyamuni Tathagata, the enlightened one, to enter this sacred place. We reverently call upon the Tathagatas of the 10 directions to enter this sacred place. Gashak shozo shoaku mo kayu mushi tonjinchi jushin go ishi shosho isai ga konkai sange. The harmful actions I have done in the past are all derived from my inherent greed, anger, and delusion. Born of my conduct, words, and thoughts, I now repent them all. 10年。ナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブムアミダナムアミダブツナムアミダブ無常人人未妙法百千万語難相具我言見聞徳十字願言如来真実 The unsurpassed, profound, and wondrous Dharma, even after 100,000 million aeons, is difficult to encounter. We now here receive and uphold it. May we understand the true message of the Tathagata. Hanya Shingyo. 仏説またhanya haramita shingyo. 漢字在菩薩行人安や花見たじ証券語雲海空の一切空薬者利子式空育空意識式即税空即税式重創業式薬部尿税者利子 無知悪無得意 空教涅槃三世小仏へ般若花見た子徳はのくたら三脈三宝大高知般若花見た税大人衆税大名衆税無常衆税無東道衆の上一切真実不公公説般若花見た収束摂取圧やてやてあらやてあらそうやてぼじそわか般若心経The Great Perfect Wisdom Heart Sutra, the Noble Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, while practicing deeply the perfection of wisdom, realized that the five aggregates are empty, thus attaining release from all suffering. Shariputra, form is no different from emptiness, and emptiness is no different from form. Form is emptiness, and emptiness is form. Feeling, perception, thought, and consciousness are also like this. Shariputra, all the dharmas, phenomena are marked by emptiness. They neither arise nor cease. They are neither defiled nor pure. They neither increase nor decrease. Thus, in emptiness, there is no form, no sensation, perception, action, and consciousness. No eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. No form, sound, scent, taste, touch, and cognition. There is no realm of sight, and so on up to the realm of consciousness. There is no ignorance, nor the extinction of ignorance. Further, there is no old age and death, nor extinction of old age and death. There is no suffering, origination, cessation, and path. There is no wisdom, and no attainment without anything to attain. A bodhisattva relies on the perfection of wisdom. Thus, the mind is without obstacles. Without any obstacle, therefore, it is without fear. Far beyond all distorted perceptions, one reaches nirvana. All the Buddhas of the past, present, and the future depend on the perfection of wisdom and thus attain and surpass perfect awakening. Thus know the perfection of wisdom as a great transcendent mantra, the resplendent mantra, the unsurpassed mantra, the incomparable mantra, capable of removing all suffering is true, if not false. Thus, we proclaim the perfection of wisdom mantra. Proclaim this mantra which says, gone, gone, gone beyond, completely gone to the other shore of true awakening. This is the heart of Perfect Wisdom Sutra. Ida Hon Zei Gan Goku Naku Shio Mon Cho San To Eko Soku Sho Usho Shi. Amida Buddha's original vows are the essential gate to the ultimate bliss. May this merit be transferred equally to enable us to immediately attain birth in the pure land. Namu Amida Bu, 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 Namu Amida ナムアミダ仏ナムアミダ仏。慎み敬って拝読し立て祭る。元祖大師ご法語第4章。創刊業の奥に参謀滅人の後の主上ないし一年に往生すと説かれたり、禅道釈して曰く万年に参謀滅してこの経をとどまるところ100年、その時聞きて1年すれば皆まさに賢に生ずることをうべしと言えり、この2つの心をもて、皆の根願の広く接し遠く及ぶほどをば知るべきなり、重きを上げて軽きを治め、悪人を上げて善人を治め、遠きを上げて近きを治め、後を上げて先を治むるなるべし。誠に大悲誓願の人口なることたやすく、言葉をもてのうべからず、心をとどめて思うべきなり、そもそもこの頃末法に入れりといえども、いまだ100年に満たず、我ら在後重しといえども、いまだご逆を作らず、しかればはるかに100年放滅の後を救いたまえり、いわんやこの後の親、広くご逆極重の罪を捨てたまわず、いわんや重悪の我なおや、ただ三人をぐしてもはら名号を称すべし。Teachings of Honen Shonin, Day 4, Pure Land Teaching Alone Prevails. The second particle of the larger sutra states, the sentient beings living even after the extinction of the three treasures, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha will attain birth in the Pure Land by only a single utterance of Nenbutsu. Master Shandao interpreted this to mean, even after the period of decline of the Dharma that lasts 10,000 years, when the three treasures become extinct, only the larger sutra will endure another 100 years. When listening to the teaching of the larger sutra, the people of that time will utter Nenbutsu once and realize Ojo without fail. It should be known through those two passages that the grace of the essential vow of Buddha Amitabha will continue to save the masses extensively and extend over an infinite length of time. The evil will be saved, and the virtuous embraced by the Buddha Amitabha. The bad will be saved, and the good embraced. Those who live far will be saved, those who live near embraced. Those who live long after Buddha Shakyamuni's entrance into Nibbana will be saved, and those who live shortly after embrace. The profundity and extensiveness of the great compassionate and essential vow are beyond verbal description. Believe in them in depths of your heart and validate their truth within yourself. It is now indeed the period of the decline of the Dharma. However, 100 years have not elapsed. Our evil karma may be great, yet we have not committed the 5 grave offenses. Buddha Amitabha will save the masses 100 years after the period of the extinction of the Dharma. How much more benevolence will be for us living today? Buddha Amitabha does not abandon the most vile of men who have committed the 5 grave offenses. He most certainly would not abandon us. Hence, you, with a threefold devotional heart, should recite the name of Buddha Amitabha exclusively. Ho myo hen jo jippo sekai nenbutsu shujou sen shu sha. The infinite light of Amida Buddha illuminates 10 directions of the world, and all who call upon his name shall be received and never abandoned. Namu Amida Namu Amida 不修大悲願の阿弥陀仏案件教釈迦牟尼仏六本王者少女諸仏観音聖書大菩薩極楽会へ少女大観修道一切三宝法大寺音ナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブツナムアミダブI revere the king of the great compassionate vows, Amida Buddha, the dispatcher and founder of the teaching Shakyamuni Buddha, all the Buddhas, as many as the sons of the Ganges in the six directions, Kannon, Seishi, all the great bodhisattvas, the world assemblies of ultimate bliss, the beings of the pure and great ocean, and the three treasures and the great compassion. May 天下は順日月照明、不意祭礼帰国民南氷河無有首特攻に無襲来上。ナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブツナムアミダブ May there be harmony below the heavens with the sun and the moon shining brightly. May the wind and rain be timely and disasters and calamity not arise. May nations be bountiful, people safe, and armies and weapons not to be used. Let us revere virtue and humanity and cultivate respect and humility. 宗祖円光等前下上広角寺教名称和順法二大師法年上人二世大小十国寺三祖年なき自然寺三国伝統初代祖師と上州寺音ナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブチュナムアミダブ Our High Patriarch Komyo, the Great Master Shandao, our founder, the Great Master Enko, Tozen Ejo, Kokaku Jikyo, Meisho, Bajun Honi Daisho, Honen Shonin, the Second Patriarch, National Teacher, Daisho Shoju, Shoko Shojin, the Third Patriarch, the Recording and Meditation Master, Kishu Ryochu Shonin, the light of transmitting the pure land of the three countries, and all the great patriarchs by realizing the compassionate blessings. 当時解散室山実上上人原田玄哲上人吉田田中上人伊藤健丈上人加藤正山上人山口龍海上人日野修随上人林明春上人浦上健丈上人奈良柴雄文上人歴代上人並びに 当時会期以来一切専門首相人と普賢行願苦教円満また願わくは海峡助院専門首相令追善増上母内ナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダナムアミダブ普通ナムアミダブ 思想部門一切段のつけチェン修上頓者独楽苦樹無料網者陸長小浄土ナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダナムアミダブチュナムアミダブ The founding masters of our temple, the restorer, and all the priests who serve this temple with the Fugen practice will achieve perfect enlightenment. My prayers to my teachers and ministers, to my father and mother, to all the temple members, donors, and all living beings with whom I have karmic connections. May all those who are living experience joy, prosperity, and longevity without limit. May those who have died escape from suffering and transcend to be born into the pure life. 自問生寧道縁具足無所生芸道合上上ナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダナムアミダブツナムアミダブ。We pray for the peace and stability of our temple and for complete affinity with the path. May we be completely free of hindrances and cultivate our practice of the Buddhist path. 当時会期来初南の津日配合配信も中院諸奨礼等追善上上もないナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダナムアミダブツナムアミダブ。Since the founding of this temple, to all the members, the daily and monthly memorial tablets, the recently deceased, those in the intermediate stage of existence, and to all spirits, may we cultivate virtues so that they may be enlightened. 願に上来諸宿道空間室以降ここに弔うところの奨励は本日4月4日インターネット産経の各家先祖代々一族専門諸軍霊と追善増上菩提また願わくは戦死病物を難合し三害万礼無縁無縁ないし崩壊平等利益 We vow hereon with the virtues accumulated from this place of practice to transfer our merit to all the ancestors of those who attend this service, and also my prayer go to those who passed away in wars, in accidents, and in disasters, for their happiness and achievement of enlightenment. 如来大悲愛民言願にし功徳平等性一切等発菩提心往生安楽国 We aspire for these merits and virtues to be equally bestowed upon all, and may we together develop the aspiration for enlightenment, to achieve birth in the pure land of peace and bliss. 10年。ナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブツナムアミダブ Yeah, thank you very much. So today is Master Honen's words is actually Honen Shonin quoted Master Shandao's understanding after what happened after the extension of the Dharma. So it's called Sanji. Is a Sanji. San is three and Ji is a time. So it literally means 3 times, and that is Shobo, Zoho, and then Mappo. So Sho, Zo, Ho, Shozo, Zoho, Mappo is the 3 times. And as time passes by, the teaching actually is less practice and the less understood. And then that age, so the first, many years, like 500 years or 1,000 years, that is the right time, is called Shobo. So the age of Shobo is that both teaching, practice, and enlightenment. So 3 elements remain because not many years pass. And of course, 500 years kind of long, but we the Buddhism that 500 years, at least 3 elements, the teaching, the practice, and enlightenment, 3 remain. But when the next stage, that there will be teaching and there is practice. Those who practice Buddhism, there are people, but enlightenment will be hard to achieve, And then that age, Zoho, or the age of Zoho, continue for 1,000 years, right? And then Mappo starts, And the Mappo is a long, extension. I mean, the decline of the Dharma age lasts 10,000 years. 10,000 years, and at the time of Mappo, only teaching remain. Only teaching remain. So there will be no enlightenment. There will be no practice. That is the age of Mappo. And Honen Shonin believes that. In his words of Honen Shonin. So he realized that his age is 100 years after, less than 100 years since Mappo started. So Japanese believe that Mappo started in the age 1052. And 1052. So I think that based on the 500 year and then 1,000 year. So that is 1052. And then that Mappo study, and Honen Shonin realized that the age, right? And then the Sokangyo. So Sokangyo is another expression of Raja Sutra. So Raja Sutra is because we have volume 1 and 2. It's called Sokangyo. The twin sutras, the double two sutras. So we have part 1, part 2. So Sokangyo, the Raja Sutra says that, after the extension of Dharma, the 3 treasures, that is Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, then gone, what happened? That only Sokangyo, or the Raja Sutra remains, the teaching of Raja Sutra remains. That is Honen Shonin understanding. So in a sense, the understanding of this Honen Shonin is that after 3 treasures, that Buddha, Dharma, Sangha are gone, then what we should rely on? What we should rely on is that, the Sokangyo, that is the Raja Sutra, remains 100 years after the extension of the Dharma. So that's why Master Shandao encouraged us to do 念仏 based on the Raja Sutra, based on the essential vow. So, Master Shandao said that 100 years after the extension of Dharma, only the Raja Sutra remains, the teaching remains. And if you recite, one Namu Amida Butsu, a single Nembutsu, then you will realize Ojo without fail. So when listening to the teaching of the Raja Sutra, the people of that time will utter Nembutsu once. So only one time Nembutsu at that time. Then realize Ojo without fail. And then Honen Shonin realized that it is now in the period of the decline of the Dharma. However, 100 years have not elapsed. So it's not, so many years passed. Only less than 100 years passed. Then our evil karma maybe, and then in addition, it hasn't much time passed. In addition, we are not so committed such a grave sin, and you should have hope. And then Buddha Amitabha will save the masses 100 years after the period of the extension of the Dharma. How much more benevolence will there be for us living today? So even extension of the Dharma, 100 years, you are good, you are saved. So we have, as compared to extension of the Dharma, we are still teaching. So what a grateful situation that Honen Shonin realization. Buddha Amitabha does not abandon the most vile of men who have committed the 5 grave offenses. In addition, Amida Buddha never abandoned even those who committed the grave 5 offenses. He most certainly would not abandon us, and for surely never abandons. Therefore, you, with a 3-4 devotional heart, should recite the name of Buddha Amitabha exclusively. So, I think the last sentence is that, you should not worry. You should not worry about. You just say Namu Amida Butsu, just Namu Amida Butsu. Then your 3 devotional hearts will be with you. So this is Honen Shonin's today teaching. Oh, sorry, over 1 hour past. Let's see. Oh, hi, good morning. Hi, Dr. Kyle. Yeah, thank you for joining the service. Sorry, it became long service. So today we have Buddha Day service, Hawaii Buddhist Council. That starts 9:30 at Hawaii Standard Time. So please join, and then I'll put the link in my website, www.korowa.jodo, and also I'll attach this website. So please join using the link. And then you don't need to use web camera, you don't need to show your name, but that would be a great opportunity to join in the service by Zoom also. And then later we will release the YouTube after Buddha Day service. So even if you missed it, we can watch it later. Thank you very much. ありがとうございます。So once again, happy Buddha Day, and then see you later. Thank you very much.